Apex, Apex, Apex. It's all we hear about these days. We're living Apex, we're breathing Apex, we're eating frosted Gibraltar cereals and wearing our Mirage-approved ski mask. But as excellent as the surprise hit of 2019 is, well, sometimes you just need a break, you know? But not from Battle Royale games, you idiot! They're the only ones that are worth playing, just look at these numbers! However, in our quest for a nice palate cleanser, we've been casting an eye back over the fledgling history of the Battle Royale genre, looking for something a little interesting or unexpected. That means no miscellaneous players and no bi-weeklies, so put those structurally unsafe stairs away, young man! Do your homework! I'm Ben from TripleJump, and here are 10 lesser-known Battle Royale games to rival Apex. Number 10. Ring of Elysium. Developed by Aurora Games and produced by Tencent, the company that distributed PUBG to Chinese audiences, Ring of Elysium features a more chilly climate than your common or garden battle royale. Good job we still have those Mirage goggles. You make use of snowmobiles and snowboards, sick tricks are optional but encouraged, to best the 60 other players and survive the harsh, evolving weather system. Rather uniquely, up to 4 rival players can share the final rescue helicopter and claim victory, and by that we mean airlifted back to the ski chalet for a nice brandy and a scathing Yelp review. Although getting everyone to play nice at the final hurdle is easier said than done. Ring of Elysium had a tricky development cycle, reworked from the early title Europa, but the early access release,
warning, warning, oh my goodness, it's early access, run!
Has come on leaps and bounds. There's even a more tropical island map for Season 2, with BMXs, hand gliders, and impending volcanic eruption, because Tencent's travel agents hate you. Number 9. Fractured Lands. Looking like a weird apocalyptic love child between Borderlands and Mad Max, Fractured Lands comes speeding out of the gates with something relatively unseen in the genre so far: vehicular combat. Since it's relatively difficult to get several dozen rust buckets onto a flying bus, you start the round already in your vehicle of choice in the center of the map. Cue a wacky races style dash from the center as you look for important things like weapons, ammo, and fuel. Yeah, fuel, because everyone's favourite Battle Royale moments happen at the petrol station, fighting over ginsters, overpriced bags of sweets, and if you're lucky, some upgrade parts for your vehicle. Once you're kitted out, it's time to go full-on Fury Road with some vehicular scraps, which are, well, a bit underwhelming to be honest. It's a shame given that it's the core premise of the game, but while fighting on foot also has some of the PUBG jankiness about it, going the pedestrian route is much more satisfying. Number 8. Super Animal Royale. Oh look, it's a battle royale game with cute little animals, viciously murdering each other. Don't tell Peter. Or do. Go to hell, Peter! Super Animal Royale is exactly what you'd imagine an indie battle royale game to be. Vibrant visuals instead of bland shades of brown, a 2D top-down perspective, and anthropomorphized woodland critters zipping about in hamster balls. With the first title launching on early access,
warning, warning, oh my goodness, it's early access, run!
In December 2018, developers Pixar Studios are new on the scene, their only previous title being Stratosphere Defense for the iPad, but they're not afraid to shake up the formula. The top-down twin-stick shooter format is a refreshing change of pace, although that doesn't necessarily mean easier, does it, Hotline Miami? Most of the familiar Battle Royale trappings are here in some form though, parachuting from the back of a giant duck, looting through various goodies carelessly discarded by dead opponents, and supply drops provided by your DPD-certified delivery mole. We would not be surprised to see this on the Switch in the near future, something about it screams Animal Crossing, after the inevitable villager uprising that is. See what you've caused, Tom Nook, with your overbearing loan shark antics? This is your fault! Number 7. The Culling. The Culling, aka the one with all the sneaky poison traps and melee weapons, has been around since 2017, practically a pensioner in Battle Royale terms. While most games in the genre encourage swift and accurate gunplay, the Culling prefers a more visceral, close-quarters approach to problem-solving. With 16 ne'er-do-wells competing to find loot in the form of blades, bludgeons, axes, and the occasional shooty stick, things quickly descend into the usual frantic mess. The game has a quite unique take on stealth too, beyond hiding in a bathroom clutching a sawn-off. Various traps, both crafted and lying around the world, reward smart, sneaky play. It all helps to give the Culling a particularly Hunger Games vibe, though we wouldn't recommend cosplaying as a rock in this one. Jesus, Peter, how long have you been there? Oh, yeah, the go to hell thing, sorry about that. Number 6. Tetris 99. Sorry, excuse me, waiter. Yeah, sorry to be a pain. Well, it appears I've got a Tetris in my Battle Royale. What? Yes, I would actually like to see the manager and tell them that they're a bloody genius. Much like Skyrim, if it's an electrical appliance, chances are Tetris will be on it. Another surprise launch, landing a mere 9 days after Apex Legends, this Nintendo Switch take on the omnipresent puzzler puts its own 90-degree spin on the Battle Royale craze, pitting your block-matching skills against 98 other players. Cutting out the usual guff, no looting, no dropping from the sky, no silly dance. Well, actually, there is dropping from the sky, but there aren't any silly dances. This is textbook Tetris for the most part, with some added abilities to mess with opponents by sending your cleared lines to other players. As crazy as this idea sounds, competitive Tetris has been done before. The classic Tetris World Championship uses the old school 1989 release. Just look at those concentration faces and weird tiny hands! And games like Puyo Puyo Tetris and the Tetris Friends browser game also let us get our competitive blocks off. Number 5. Ark, Survival of the Fittest. If Jurassic Park taught us anything, it's that dinosaurs are amazing and quite dangerous.
Clever girl.
A spin-off from the survival game and paleontologist's wet dream Ark, Survival of the Fittest takes the dinosaur formula and answers all of our childhood questions of who would win in a fight between a T-Rex and a Spinosaurus. Our money's on Stumpy Arms. Admittedly, the base game of Ark is an acquired taste. It's buggy, it's laggy, there are so many ways to get killed by the environment or other players, but the survival gameplay, along with being able to tame dinosaurs in your own prehistoric Pokemon simulator, is a beautiful thing. Survival of the Fittest is basically the main game in microcosm, with it only taking a few minutes rather than hours to tame your own beast, and the fights are more frequent, it being a battle royale game and all. Fighting in the open is a refreshing change for regulars of the base game, used to base raiding and dealing with auto turrets. Combat is still suitably brutal, but if all else fails, you can always dodo throw your way to victory.
Buckets!
Number 4. Blackout, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. What's this? Call of Duty in my list of niche games? I will not stand for it! We hear you cry, and that's perfectly reasonable, but considering Call of Duty has gotten its fair share of stick for being stagnant and unoriginal in recent offerings, the fact that Blackout exists at all is impressive. Yes, we know they basically jumped on the bandwagon, but just hear us out, okay? It's actually quite good. Call of Duty has always been renowned for its impeccably smooth gunplay, unlike other Battle Royale favourites, PUBG. And before Apex came along and stole every waking hour from us, the Blackout game mode received positive responses in the way it added much-needed polish to the genre, with the drops, firefights and equipment slotting in nicely. For long-term fans, the main map was sprinkled with previous multiplayer favourites like Firing Range, Asylum and Nuketown, and this all served to give Activision's Golden Goose a new lease on shooty, explodey life. Number 3. Totally accurate Battlegrounds. Finally, for the first time in video gaming history, we have reached peak realism. Featuring eye-bulgingly lifelike visuals, pant-wettingly real shootouts, and a physics engine probably designed by NASA, this is confirmation that we're about ready to launch the Matrix-style simulation machine. Okay, so admittedly this game is silly. Designed as an April Fool's joke, even the developers admitted it'll probably be buggy in the Steam description, and that's the inherent charm. Starting a game sees you ungracefully thudding to the ground, because parachutes are for nerds! Got him! Shootouts are all over the place when you can even get your character to stand up straight. There are periscope attachments, launchpad grenades, and make it rain rifles. The circle is a giant wall under construction, which makes for some pretty close, tense calls. Oh, and you can slap people with a fish. Seriously, why aren't you playing this game right now? Number 2. Realm Royale. If you're the sort of wise guy to bring a fireball to a firefight, then Realm Royale might be right up your alley. From Hi-Rez Studios, developers of Smite and Paladins, this early access
Warning, warning, oh my goodness.
magical melee brings some unique arcane elements to the standard Battle Royale formula. Picking from 5 heroes of mage, warrior, assassin, engineer, and Legolas cosplay, you can mix and match traditional firearms like snipers and shotguns with a fantasy-tinged arsenal of staves, swords, and crossbows. You can also turn unsuspecting victims into chickens, if you're that way inclined. This particular entry stands out with some interesting approaches to looting and gearing up, most notably the Forge system. Take your various scraps of disenchanted valuables to one of 18 forges on the map, and you can prove that your blacksmithing apprenticeship wasn't a complete waste by crafting potions, armors, abilities, and weapons. But be careful, as if other players see a rather obvious plume of smoke when someone is using the forge, that could be a one-way ticket to being proper clucked. Number 1. Maelstrom. Avast! Swab the sails, trim the poop deck, and other popular nautical sayings. Rum, something about rum. This unique take on the formula brings the action to the high seas, where you fight other humans, orcs, and dwarves to be the last ship sailing. Kickstarted in 2018 and currently in early access,
Warning, warning.
Maelstrom isn't afraid to venture into uncharted waters. With smaller rounds of only 15 players and empty spaces filled by bots to keep things populated, you can fire volleys of iron, grape, or chain shot, and there's also grappling, ramming, and boarding. It's like Sid Meier's pirates had a fever dream about Fortnite after an evening of too much grog. Each ship features a captain with differing skill sets, giving it a hero-centric vibe, perfect for Apex withdrawal symptoms, and you even have a persistent progression system. While it certainly skirts the abyss of being a Battle Royale game, plenty of the traditional trimmings are there too, with looting, a death circle, and tense final 1v1s. Oh, and there's also sea monsters, so watch where you're sailing, or you might run aground into this happy chaffy. Oh. And that's our list. Some nice remedies here to calm those post-Apex shakes. Now, doesn't that feel better? Let us know if we've missed any of your favourite interesting Battle Royale games in the comments below. You can follow myself and TripleJump on Twitter here, and while you're at it, why not support the things you enjoy by having a look at our Patreon? Finally, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and thanks for watching.